Back on the Late Late Show, live from Scotiabank Arena, where the Splash Brothers carried the Warriors to a Game 5 victory, extending the series. A one-point lead, a one-point game. Clay, Steph, they were down 6, rallied late. The two combined to hit 12 threes. Maybe the bigger number is the number of attempts. Clay was 7 of 13. Steph Curry, 5 of 14. Kyle Lowry said that's just way too many looks to give the best two shooters in the world. 3D, these two, they got loose tonight. How were they able to get so many looks at the three ball when clearly, especially once Durant went down, the Raptors knew this had to be the game plan?
Well, I think Isaiah Thomas calls it perfect randomness, where they move well out the basketball, they keep moving. The other night when Steph Curry was 6 of 14 from the three-point line, is moving, getting good screens, you rise up and knock it down. And the same thing with Clay. When both of those guys are moving, they know I will continue to move. Kyle Lowry, you turn your back. Van Fleet, you're too close to the lane. Steph Curry runs to the corner, knocks down a three. This is when Isaiah talks about the perfect randomness. Here you go. You have Draymond Green at the top. One screen set, poor communication. Just watch how Steph Curry comes off the screen, steps into the three, leaves it, and knocks it down. Now the focus is really kicked in, Jared, because now we know Kevin Durant's not coming back. We need buckets. We need more focus. You got to have great spacing. Kyle Lowry left too early. Pump fake, let the man run by you. And Klay Thompson, leave it, shooter's paradise in full effect. Unbelievable with great movement, great spacing, and good screen setting. You think with DeMarcus Cousins had that one little moving screen down the stretch. Right. It didn't deter them, and they didn't get upset. They kept running their offense and kept setting better screens. You knock down wide open shots.
We knew coming into this game the series would turn out to be historic. Either we would have our first champion on international soil, right, or the Warriors would put together an epic comeback for the ages and win this after being down 3-1. And now we have two guys clearly in the running for Finals MVP. We'll talk about Kawhi in a moment, but Steph Curry, how good he has been night in and night out in this series.
Sticking with what he does best. And he understands the ball will find him, never standing still. That 1-3 where he steps behind the line and goes in, we wouldn't for sure if that was a 2 or a 3. So once again, he shows you that this offense can still run well if everyone's down on the floor. He shows you he gets a layup. He doesn't just settle for the 3. Plays like this lets me understand Steph Curry is going to play the game the right way, because the flow of the game will still get him around the three-point line. Putting the ball on the floor, knowing the big guys will set good screens for him. And once again, that last shot right there, when he comes off that screen, the big man doesn't show properly, you knock it down.
Curry, 31 points. He's now averaging 32.5 points over the 5-game series. Let's talk about some of the other members of the Warriors. Interesting decision on how Steve Kerr played his rotations early on. Obviously, Kevin Durant goes into the starting lineup, so the natural guy to come out was DeMarcus Cousins, who had started the last few games since returning from his quad injury. And DeMarcus came in struggling over the last couple, and he clearly went down the pecking order on the bench. So with Durant in the starting lineup, the first big off the bench was Looney, then it was Bogut, and then Cousins didn't come in until Kevin Durant got hurt. What did you see from DeMarcus Cousins?
Well, I think cutting his minutes back and not having him start made him calm down a little bit, Jared. So then when his name was called, knocks down a shot, gets a layup, gets a couple rebounds, a couple plays, didn't have a lot of lift, but played a better game by taking some of that pressure off of him by making him a starter. So once again, Steve Kerr did an excellent job tweaking a few things, bringing in more livelier bodies, and you got more out of Cousins tonight.
Now, this is if you want to look at the pure numbers and say, clearly DeMarcus Cousins had a good game. But I would have to imagine in the video session, they're going to look at the fourth quarter, where DeMarcus Cousins had some crucial errors that nearly cost the Warriors a game. Yes, we can look at how many points he scored and how many rebounds he grabbed, but over the course of 3 possessions, DeMarcus Cousins had 2 goaltend calls, had an offensive, it was called for an illegal screen, and he kept on giving the ball back to the Raptors when Klay and Steph were doing everything in their power to win the game.
The biggest one you're talking about is the moving screen. Trying to go the a defensive goaltender, they're not mad at that because that's effort. He might have been a second late. The offensive one, you're like, that was so close, but you don't want to take away the effort on those plays. It's the defensive one they're going to really show, and along with that moving screen. Those are the 2 plays that really hurt them. The effort with the blocking shots, going around the rim, keep that there.
As Kristen Ledlow told us, Looney's status is now going to be up in the air. Who do you think is the 5th starter for the Warriors, assuming Durant is not available and we don't know what's going on with Looney?
Maybe Bogut, because he was the second guy to come off the bench tonight. Do you go with more speed, maybe with Bell? Or does he go back to Damian Jones like you did back in the Portland series? Right. The fact is you have so many options to go with. I think you go with more speed, more athleticism.
All right, let's talk about the Raptors side of things, who had the opportunity tonight several times to look like win this game when it appeared that they were dead, or in that third quarter after the Warriors did a nice job there. But here comes Kawhi. He was struggling all night long. First 3 quarters, nothing, even little bunnies for Kawhi weren't going down. And then it came clutch time, and here comes Kawhi Leonard.
Gets the big stop, he gets the big rebound, dribbles the ball down the court, knocks down the big 3. The crowd goes crazy. You're saying to yourself, this is the time. You have to jump on him. This is the time. That's the big rebound right there. When that put back right there, Jared, then it comes down, he knocks down the 3. I said, this crowd's about to go crazy. Jurassic Park, you can hear them roaring from outside. But then they couldn't get over the hump, Jared. I think the turnover by Marcusol hurt him, but Kawhi Leonard was like, not tonight. I'm trying to put you guys on my back and get over the hump. But that Warrior defense, Jared, after that little run right there, the Warrior defense got a couple stops. And this is the part where you try to say for the Raptors, how can you overcome this?
Right.
Because you wouldn't do this at home. We know what you've done in games 3 and 4, but this was a golden opportunity to handle your business.
Remember, Kawhi Leonard had that masterful offensive performance in Game 4. Didn't have a single turnover. He had 5 miscues in the first 3 quarters of Game 5 on Monday night. But it came down to that final possession where the Raptors had the basketball, they had a timeout in their pocket, and they were down by 1. Kawhi, why didn't you take the final shot?
Take us through that final possession again. A lot of people on social media especially, and a lot of us watching, are wondering why you didn't take that final shot.
I mean, 2 guys came up on me. You know, I mean, I don't know if I could have got a shot off. It's hard. I mean, if you got 2 guys on top of you, you have to try to find the right play. We ended up getting a shot in the corner, but it just didn't go off quick enough.
Go ahead on the right side in the front.
Kawhi, Valeria Rubino, V-Sport. What kind of leader are you trying to be for this team? What did you tell your guys in the locker room to keep their confidence up?
Just pretty much just fight through the adversity. You know, it's not going to be easy. Stay confident. We know we could win, and that's it. You know, I'm not going to say everything, but, you know, those are the main key points.
On the right side, and then Tristan in the front.
Uygar Askan, Turkish television. Did you guys execute to the game plan that was designed pre-game? Started out kind of slow, I thought, maybe caught up in the 4th quarter. Were you guys getting the shots that you guys wanted, or do you think they changed the defensive scheme on you guys?
I think a couple of us were playing a little bit too fast on the offensive end. But, I mean, we scored 28 points in the 1st quarter. Could have played a little bit better defense. Like, guys were getting open shots. You know, I guess nerves probably settled down from there, and we started to play a little bit better basketball. But, I mean, we're going against a great team. They know that they wasn't going to quit.
Last one here in the front.
Rick, USA Today. Just wanted to kind of touch on that point that you made. You specifically mentioned that you hope KD can recover from this emotionally. As someone who's faced an injury like that, what kind of range of emotions were you going through? What kind of toll does it take on you when you go through that?
I think he will recover from it. You know, we're saying just like, I hope he's keeping his spirits up through it. I know he's going to get through it. He's a great basketball player. He wants to come out and, you know, be a great player, Hall of Fame player. But it just, you know, the simple fact that you're just hurt, like I was saying, and you want to get out and play, but you really got to just take your time and be patient and let the weeks and months go by. But I'm not sure what his injury is right now. You know, I pray for him and, you know, hope that he has a Godspeed recovery.
Thank you, Kawhi.
Okay, well, it is an Achilles injury, and again, Bob Myers saying that there will be an MRI on Tuesday. We hope to have more then at that time, but we take you to the social moments part of our show, and clearly the only thing that's on the mind of anybody on NBA Twitter right now is the injury to Kevin Durant. Obviously, players pouring in support all around the NBA.
No, it's a wonderful thing. D-Wade, Karl-Anthony Towns, a lot of different NBA players who are watching the finals are pouring out for KD. There's Trae Young. I mean, everyone that knows KD, a lot of Olympic teammates have chimed in. We know he loves basketball. We know he's a gym rat. So there's Victor Oladipo. He's going through rehab from his knee. It's just a tough thing because we never want to see a guy get hurt. So for all those guys and gals out there that have you little Nurkic, he's recovering from an injury.
Right.
So it's fun to see the basketball world watching.
Well, let's be honest. This is our social media portion of the show, so let's talk about what's going on right now on social media. There's a huge debate on NBA Twitter right now about whether the organization let him down or whether Durant could have gotten hurt further, right? Clearly he got hurt more than he was coming into this game, right?
Yes.
There's no debate about that.
There's no debate there at all.
But Steve Kerr had been saying in the days leading up to him getting cleared to play that he was told by the medical staff if they were going to let him play, it would be a situation where he couldn't get hurt any worse.
Yeah, so that's why as we finish up this series, a lot of speculation is going to go on and some more news will come out. We did a show yesterday here, and Steve Smith and I said he should not play. Every doctor we had talked to said this is a 6 to 8 week injury. You can rehab, you can play 2-on-2, but the way, remember you and I were talking, and I said the way we extend once you start playing, you forget about your injury. He knocked down his first 3 threes, the lather, the sweat. He felt good. He forgot he was injured. He extended, and that's when we all said, we go like that again, something's wrong. This time he sat down, Jared, he didn't grab his calf. He grabbed his Achilles. So we know it's going to definitely be the Achilles. How severe will it be is the question.
Do you think there's regret that he played?
Yes. Come on. We're talking about, listen to me. Kevin Durant wanted to play so bad, so as each week went by, the body started feeling better and better. Mm-hmm. But deep down inside, we all said, not that. This is still too soon. 32 days. 32 days from the injury. And you can do all the rehab, all the extend. It's not like playing in a game 5 on that floor down there. Yeah. So that's why we're trying to get people to understand. So for all those naysayers that say he didn't love to play, well, I hope you're happy now because he proved to you he loved to play, but he had to sacrifice the injury for it now.
Preach.
Hey, I'm done now.
He is 3D Dennis Scott. I'm Jared Greenberg. This is the Late Late Show, and we've got more coming up, including what we'll be talking about tomorrow. Take a guess. It has a little something to do with Kevin Durant. We're coming back live from Toronto, where the Warriors have picked up a second win in this series.